Okay, so how to make a glass cabinet. In my cabinet and a camera and the exhaust. All right, so if I want to make a cabinet, this cabinet has some cuts and a glass window. So to do that, well, you know, I can isolate it to make it a little easier on me. So I'll press this button right here with the mouse with the square around it. We'll click this. Let's just get an edge loop tool. So click on this. Put one about right here. And I want one in the middle. So I could use this and make it, or I could be exact and use my insert edge loop tool. So let's go to object mode, shift right click, insert edge loop tool. And if I want to get this right in the middle, I can do this a couple of ways. Right now it's set to 4. So if you double click on this, it's set to 4. I can also set it to, let's say 1. And then I get it like right in the middle. So let me do that again. So right now, since it's 1, I can get it right in the middle. As you can see, it just cuts it off 50%. Okay, so I'll press Q to quit. And well, actually, since this has a cut right here, a little indentation. So we're gonna do this slick little way. I'll just hold down shift, double click this. So I have both of these, and I'll do a shift right click, bevel edge. So now I'm getting this, right? Now, if I go to fraction, hold down control, what it's doing is, because it's a bevel, and usually I say 2 or more when I'm doing like round stuff, but for this, I just want it to be like this. So I'll get it really kind of tight in there. Looks good. Press Q to quit. I'll right click, go to faces, select this face, hold down shift, double click. So I have this whole edge loop. I press 4, you'll see it. Press 5 to make it solid again. And I want to get this loop. So hold on shift, click once, double click. Now I have this whole loop, right? Now I'm going to do an extrude. So shift right click, extrude face. If I go to thickness, see what it does, right? It pulls it out, but I don't want it to be thick. I want it to go inside. So I'm going to hold down control so I have more control. Take it in. I'll take it in like this. So you can see right there what I'm doing. I'm just want to push it in a little bit. So like that, it's cool. All right, I'll press Q to quit. So that's what that looks like now. All right, so the glass window appears to be a little bit under here. So what I can do is I'll get insert edge loop again, and I'll put one right here, put one right here. I'll press Q to quit. And I did that just so this can be even as well. So double click on this one to get the full edge loop, shift, double click on this one, press R to scale, and I'll scale this out. It looks like it goes like this. Q to quit. Now I'll make the window. I don't know where it ends and begins. It's okay. Because we can always adjust that. So if I select this right here, shift, select this, Q to quit. Cool. Now I'll just right click, go to face, select these 2 faces, shift right click, extrude face. So now I'm pushing this in. And this is going to be our glass window. Press Q to quit. Actually, if I'm gonna make some shelves in here, yeah, I'm gonna make this whole thing. So I'll push it in like this. Press 4. So I don't know exactly where the depth's gonna be. Let's just put it right here just to do it. Press 5 to make it solid. And then now I need to make my shelves. So it looks like a wine rack kind of thing. So I'll just make 2 different types of shelves. So I'll grab my cube. Well, actually, there's 2 ways to do this too. So I can, yeah, I'll do it easy way first. I can grab a cube, make this to whatever size my shelf is supposed to be. Get some vertexes, pull it in. And then I'll just go to edge, select all the edges, shift right click, bevel edge. This I'm doing 2 or more. Let's just do 3 just to do it. Make it a little tighter, let's say. Pivots down there, I'll center it up, clicking this button right here. And I'll just scale it down a little bit. Push it in. Now all I'm doing is going to grab the vertexes, these over here, these over here, not pushing it out. Press 4. And then however high I want it to be or low, I can just scale it down. Press 5. Or for wireframe, I'll just do this. But I'm grabbing the points. I'm just not clicking it and scaling it because I want this to remain the same. So that's one way we can make a shelf. Press H to hide that. Another way we can do it is we can just click on these faces. This might be a little easier too. So I just held down Shift. So I have these 2 faces and I'll just duplicate these faces. I'll do Shift, right click. Duplicate face. Press Q to quit. So I have this. Should have a, yeah. There it is, and made extra face. I press W, the pivot's up there. We know how to center that. We just go right here, click on this. We have it. And then I can just do Shift right click and do an extrude. And then extrude this. And then I can select it. Go to edge mode, select the whole thing, Shift right click, bevel edge. 2 more, Control. And so this right here is already, you know, the size you want. So you don't have to, the other way is one way. This is just, you know, different way to do it. And I could have deleted those edges. I just kept them in. And if you want them, you know, to go in, you just press E and push it in like this. We have a shelf. Now it looks like there's a wine rack in here. So another thing we can do is Control D. I'll just duplicate this. Or you know what? Since I already did this before, I'll just do it again. Select this, Shift, select this, Shift right click, and I'll do a another duplicate face. Object mode. Center the pivot. All right. So let's make ourselves a little wine rack. Go to edge, select this, Shift right click, delete edge. And I'll go to my insert edge loop. And here, let's just go to like, I don't know, let's go to like 10. Click on this, cue to quit, fine. Let's go to our knife tool, click right here, cue to quit. And then I can just select every other face, do a delete. It's an object mode now, and we can just extrude this. I'll just do a Control E. Just drag it up like this. And then we can just go to edge mode, select all of these, shift right click, bevel edge, segments of 2 or more, depending on how soft we want it, you know, like this. Then you can just slide it into our cabinet. And there you go. So we can make that shelf or this shelf. Now, when it comes to the glass, all we have to do is make it the same size as this. So we just go to faces, select this face, shift, select this face, and the same thing, shift right click, duplicate face. We can go right here and get it. Another way we can get it is if we just select the whole thing. We just click off. So I'll select everything and then I'll just hold down Control. Now deselect that. And now I have this, which is the face. Pivots off, center that. And then I'll just do a Control E for extrude or shift right click. And I'll just make a thin piece of glass. Let's make this real thin. That's it. So put this in here. There it is. And like, let's say this is too high. Let me select this. Let me name it glass too. Just because sometimes I'll do this. I'll just select this. And I do this for glass sometimes mainly. Just not to get confused. I'll do a right click, assign new material. Arnold, add standard surface. See it right here, just name it glass or cabinet. Glass. It's good to stay organized. So don't have these say Arnold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just give it a name off the break. And then I might go here, give some transmission, and then go just give it that. And then later on, I'll give it a glass material, but sometimes I'll just do this just to know that this is glass in my scene. Like I said, if it's too high, we can just go to vertex. You just press 4. I'll grab all these right here, press 5. I can make it lower, higher. And then let's say if it is higher, you already know what to do. You just grab the glass, grab the points, and so it's adjustable. So then if you have more than one shelf, you can just duplicate the shelves. And then lastly, what we'll do is just get slight bevel. We'll just go to edge, select this whole thing. This edge right here doesn't matter. Yeah, this might as well just delete it, right? It won't like mess up anything at all, but you can do that. So, and on this one too. So now shift, double clicking, getting the full edge. And remember to delete edges. You have to hold shift, right click, and delete the edge. And that's it. All right. So now we'll just go to edges again, select all the edges, shift right click, bevel edge. Just go here. Just want to get this at a nice angle so I can view it right. Segments of 2 or more. There we go. To do those handles, pretty simple. We just need to go get ourselves a cube. Scale this out. This. And sometimes if we're not going to see the back face doesn't matter. And I'll do our friend Bevel again. Bevel. Let's just go to 2 because this is real small. Now check this out. This is still in the center of the world, so it's good, right? Because then I can just get a cylinder. And scale this up, or the easier way, just grab the top. And with this, same thing, double click on the top part, shift, double click on this bottom ring, shift the top one, shift right click, bevel edge, fraction, hold down control, 2 or more. And I'll just pull this out right here. It's probably like that. Click on this, Control D to duplicate. Put it right here. You can select this whole thing and we can do like a Control G and say cabinet handle group. All right, so we have this. You can do a center pivot on the whole group. R to scale. And then just place it on our cabinet. R to scale. F to focus in, zoom out. And we got that. Now, if it's supposed to be longer, just right click, go to vertex, drag this down. And then I'll just drag this down. I can also just scale this down if I need to. Vertex, pulls up. That's it. So we have our handle right there. I'll just stuck in my group again, Control D. Just move it over here. I'm done. Sometimes I might put like a material on that and then duplicate it. Actually, yeah, I might as well just do that just to do it. So go right here, and I go bar. I don't know what these other parts are called, like stub. No idea. Now click on these and shift right click. I'm not shift right click, assign new material. I'm just do Arnold. Instant surface. Stub material, and then I'll just name this one. Assign new material, Arnold. Cabinet bar handle material, long name. But yeah, I have this now, and now that it's labeled, that just means anywhere else where I take this whole group. So if I click on this, I have my whole group, and I Control D and move it over here. Now they all have that same material on it. Yeah, and that's how we make our cabinet. This exhaust right here, same kind of deal, right? So you wouldn't want to make this separate pieces unless it is separate pieces. I don't have a reference for this, but generally make it like this. Go get a face, Control E, drag it up. So we have this, let's isolate it. Let's go to faces right here, shift right click, extrude. Let's go to offset and drag this in, press G, let's pull this up, right? So that now it's pushing it through. We know this is bad, right? But I'll press R to scale, and I'll just scale it down. So now it fits in there nicely. And I'll just go to object mode. I mean, not object mode, edge. Select it all, shift right click, bevel edge, and go to segments and 2 or more. Control. We have this. So now we have this exhaust. Let's just go ahead, Control D. Give this like a little bit of a roof. E, hold on J. W. Don't know if this has a skylight or not, but just do this. Actually, looks a little bit higher in your reference. Now peep this, right? Even though we made this cabinet right here, just because it looks like it has a little higher, what I do is I look at the cabinet and then I look at how thick a certain part is, and then I'll compare it to like another area. So this right here looks like it's a little bit shorter. Let me press 4 just to make sure I'm grabbing all these points. Press 5 again. I'll push this down a little bit. I'm just going to cheap out and do this. Control D. I'll take this whole thing, move it up. I'll select these faces right here. And what I'll do is I'll do a shift greater than. Is it getting everything? No, it's not getting everything like I want. So this is, I'll just do this. I'll select all this right here. And I'll delete it. And then I'll just take this, center the pivot. If you had the same material, if you assign the material to that, you wouldn't have to do it again. And I'll just push this down right here. And it looks good, right? So now I'll just take the ceiling, place it right here. And then if you need any more of this stuff, you can just, well, at least these top parts you can duplicate, but yeah, I guess the rest you'd have to build out. If I kept this without this cabinet face right here, like before I made the window, I could have just duplicated that around my scene. And then it all looks like uniform because it all has the same bevel, all kind of has the same style. But if I didn't do that, I can just do this. I can go in here. You should just do it off the break, but if I had to do it again, or I had to fix this for whatever reason, I just select this face, shift greater than. And this is an afterthought. That's the only reason I'm doing it now. And I'll just delete. Oh yeah, it's gonna be tricky because we have these beveled areas. Because usually if this wasn't beveled, like I said, it was just the afterthought. I could just, you know, select this and do a shift right click and do a fill hole, but It looks all right, but it's not correct. I mean, it filled in this face. The only thing is this is what you call an N-gon, and I don't know what's gonna look like rendering. So before you try to like copy this again and fix it, it'd be better just to, when I made this, before I punched out the window, just duplicate that and then use this one for the cabinet. Now, the other thing I'll do is I will make myself a camera. So set it up for this scene. And I'll close this right here. And something I can do to help me is get a film gate. So if I select this right here, it says, oh no, it says field chart. Still helps, right? So I'll just try to align this. To match the reference the best I can. So let's say it's like this. Just tilting it forward. I get a little bit of counteraction, right? All right, so let's just say I love this right here. I'm gonna go to view, create camera from view. Open the outliner. Yeah, and this is the camera right here. So I'll name this let's do V1, right? Just in case you want to make another one. I'll select the camera, or I'll select it right here, click on this camera. And just to show you what it's doing, if I click on this camera and then I click on the lock, which is the button next to it, now it's all grayed out. And now I can't move it and I can't mess it up. And I'll go to panels, perspective. Let me take off this thing right here. And now I have my camera, you see the handles are grayed out, so you can't do anything. You can scale it though, but it doesn't matter, you know, it's for visualization purposes. So remember, this is like a camera on a tripod. And then you're moving around and you're fixing the set. Kind of like a movie, you know? They say cut or whatever, you go in, you mess with some stuff. Who knows, you might bevel some edges, segments. Or do whatever you're gonna do. My cabinet looks a bit thick. I mean, this counter looks a bit thick. And I can also do things like this, go back into my camera, look at this and say, yeah, it's a bit too thick. Let me bring this down. Bring it up. And then you just compare it to certain things. You look at your cabinet and you say, this handle right here drops down a little bit lower. This cabinet actually looks, this counter looks like it's a little bit out of frame. But then you could also improvise too if it doesn't look right. Like if I drag this all the way out of frame, maybe that's a bit too much for what I'm doing. But you'll look at stuff like this compared to the height of this, which I think is pretty good. So that's all you're really doing. You're looking at this and saying, on my reference, how far away is this from this? Does this look right? Does this look thick enough? And like I said, sometimes you can just go in and improvise, but that can help sometimes. So yeah. Drag that into there. Yeah, that's how you do it. So making a camera, making cabinet, and making an exhaust.